John, you want to trade with Judy?
Second and 11.
I mean, I'm sitting like this.
Well, do you want to change
What do you want me to do? Hit someone
You
else?
change with this. Can you change easily without...
No, I can't.
Ball carrier was Waters. Hit by Shannonberry.
No, I don't have time.
3rd and 6.
Come on, defense, hold him now. Be tough out there. Lynn, will this fit your purse?
In my purse? No.
There you go.
Ball carrier was Waters, stopped by number 10, Tom Troutman from Flint, Michigan. 4th down. 4th and 5. Punter was Mike McCabe. Fair catch, Marcus Ballard on the Western Illinois 14-yard line. Leatherettes take over. Flip on Western.
Come on, Western!
Number 1, you're going back a little too far. You want to play for Western, then the ball's coming back.
Come on!
First down, Western. Penalty was a clipping penalty against Western. First down, Western. 39-yard line.
Come on now, let's get it back!
Singer to Carroll. First down, Western. Yard pickup. First down on the Illinois State 49-yard line. Kropke making the tackle. Singer, ball carrier.
Let me see if that Kropke's from Schaumburg.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Second down on the Western 41.
No. Didn't we ask that?
What?
Somebody looked it up.
What? Kropke's? No, it's not them.
Pass. Intended for Albert Brown. Broken up. By number 18,
Jimmy Nayland's 45
Gary Conley.
for Illinois State. What is he? I can't look up his.
They're down in 20 for Western.
Judy, look up and see what Jim plays.
Lynn,
Get what?
Pass intended for Albert Brown. Incomplete. Flag on the play. Mike Peterson, please report to the press box. Mike Peterson.
What number? 45.
Preliminary indication is motion on Western. Decline. Fourth down, Western. Mike Rouse back to kick for Western.
We haven't seen a running play yet. Now it's going to be 4th and 20 for the line of scrimmage around the 41. There was a marker on that last play, and evidently against Western declined by ISU. Alone, we got 2 deep men on the punt attempt here by...
Warren Calhoun took the punt. First down, Illinois State.
Would be Al Davis, number 8, or is it number 3? It is Lorenzo Taylor. Taylor was one of the first down there, and we may have a marker on that as well. We'll see. It's going to be against Western Illinois, evidently. ISU quite pleased with the call.
Well, that punt officially 50 yards from Kraus. Excellent kick. Good coverage that time by the Leatherneck punt team, but again, they're going to be the penalty is going to be go against the Leathernecks, and I'm sure it's going to be a personal foul penalty. It's going to take the 25-yard line.
We're remaining the opening period of play, and a 15-yard walk-off against Western out to the 25-yard line, approximately, where it's 1st and 10 for Illinois State. So the quarterback, Pat Williams, a freshman, has Illinois State ready. A first down play, and he's going to go to Waters, and Waters out of the I-back position, tries to shift gears and hit a different hole up front of the line of scrimmage, and he gets nowhere. He'll pick up maybe a yard or a couple of yards, and it's been all Waters so far, I believe, on the carry for Illinois State. They gave him a couple of yards, and it's going to be 2nd down, 8 situation. Somebody up front for Western made the stop. I'm not sure who. Bruce McCray is right on the line of scrimmage here. Now he's going to shade back off a couple of yards, and Williams wants to throw for the first time. And he lobs, about a mile and a half up into the stands on the far side. As the freshman said, no need trying to complete this one. He simply threw it away.
Well, that's exactly what he did. That's a good decision. At that time, they were trying to hit Henry Waters out in the flat. He slipped down to the right flat. Was well covered by the Western nickelback, Trotman.
Illinois State averaging about 105 yards passing per game, only 100 yards rushing. They've been without Waters, though, in 3 of their 4. And their defense giving up about 235 per game. That's been their strong point. And they're ranked 12th in the nation because of it. Waters off the offensive side, the left side of the line, will spin away from one would-be tackler, but not the second, and down he goes about the 32. Troutman was over there in a hurry, and so was Rick Renner, but I believe the guy that perhaps made contact first for Western that time would be Dion Melvin. Well, we had Mike Morrison up on the pregame programming while you were lunching away again. Nice to talk to the big guy. He plans to be back next week.
Well, I'm glad to see that injury's not serious. He'll be missed in there. He's a fine offensive tackle.
So now again, it'll be Mike McCabe, about like Krause, about a 38-yard putter. He puts one high, but not very deep. and it's going to drop at the 45. It'll take an ISU bounce to the 40-yard line, and now Western 60 yards away from what would be the first score of the afternoon. We'll have it again, 1st and 10, and this game materializing into just what we figured it would be. Enjoyed the brother a little early this morning on the tailgate broadcast. Dan Mortier was there along with Tom LaMonica and the radio crew right next door here to us. Dick Ludke and company from WJBC. First down, Western. Dan's getting a little more talkative all the time.
Yeah, he's never had a problem with being talkative.
1st and 10 from the 40. Charo, the first running play of the day for Western, and Charo's going to get a couple. The New Jersey product is in the backfield with Singer and with Grimshaw on that particular play, but now Grimshaw is going to be leaving, and checking into the lineup for WIU then will be Bob Matthews. Now maybe they figure Matthews on this kind of a field, with his size, his bulk, maybe would get a little better footing.
Well, I'm sure that's a consideration. He's a big, strong back, tough to bring down, and speed is not going to be much of a factor. Speed and quickness today. It's going to be the blocking, and the ball game's going to be won up front.
So Charo got a couple. 2nd down 8. Charo will get the call again. He's in a lot of traffic trying to run laterally and to the left side of the offensive line, and not going to get much as Brian Gant will be there to make the stop. So Charo perhaps back to the line of scrimmage. Will they give him a yard? Perhaps. It's going to be 3rd and 7. We wish the best to Travis Inman. He's normally out here every game and has been for years, helping in some capacity, and had the heart attack, I understand, about a week or so ago, and he's home now and listening to every play this afternoon, I'm sure.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, and I want to send Travis my best also. He's a very, very fine gentleman and has spent a lot of time in a volunteer capacity over here with this program.
And at Northwestern High School, where they've got homecoming game this afternoon, Singer throws, and Blanks will make the catch, and out of bounds about the 47 of Illinois State. That's going to be a gain of about 10 and a first down, Western Illinois, and Blanks has his first grab of the day.
Now off the sprint out action again, this time to the right side. Singer very accurately throwing the out for Nate Blanks as he caught it backing up out of bounds. He knew, good job by the senior receivers. He knew exactly where he was on the field, got both feet in, and got out of bounds for first down yardage.
Give him 11. It's his 5th catch of the year for 72 yards. Bragg, by the way, with an injury, and Maher's playing a lot. Bragg with 8 catches for 93, but the leader is Albert Brown with 18 receptions for 178 yards. First down, 47-yard line of Illinois State. No score, quarter number 1. Singer slips. He eludes a tackler, but not a couple of others, and he'll lose back to the 47 of Western Illinois. Singer hanging on to the ball a lengthy period of time on almost every play today, and there has to be a reason for that, of course. Illinois State doing a good job with the coverage downfield.
Well, I think it's a combination of both coverage and a good job at defensive football by the Redbirds, but also the fact that at that time, I think the slip by Singer as he came back through the timing of the playoff, and once you have to take your eyes off the receiver, it's difficult to get back into the scheme of the play, and that time the pursuit pressure from Illinois State caught up with him and forced the sack.
About a 7-yard loss, and 2nd down and 17. Midway through the first quarter, no score. Singer's going to go down again. In on top of him that time would be John Kropke, one of the defensive tackles and one of the defensive leaders. Jeff Skavinsky was there, too. He wears number 85, 6'2", 225 from LaSalle, Peru. And a loss back to the 40, another loss of 7. So it's going to be about a 3rd and 24 situation. Western going backwards as they chew up the middle of the field. It's very much in evidence where they spent a lot of the day already.
Illinois State coming into this one, an outstanding defensive football team. Coach Craddock in his comments this week calling it probably the best defensive team that the Leathernecks will face all year. They're physical, they have good players, and they've got a couple of great players in Gant and Kropke.
Otulski in his 6th year at Illinois State and probably feeling a little bit of pressure. Singer's going to throw. Brown's got it. That's the 50, 45, inside of the 43. It's a big gainer, Western, but not enough for a first down, and it's going to bring up 4th and about 7. The stop going to be made by ISU, and getting in there to make the hit, I believe, was number 66 for the Redbirds. Not a starter, John Jurgens, or is he? Yeah, defensive end.
If there's any injury or Paul Singer's feeling any pain in that shoulder, he certainly didn't show it on that one. That was a bullet as he threw that time to Brown over the middle. Good gain again, as you said, but not enough for the first down, forcing this punting situation by Leatherneck as they spot the ball at the 44 of Illinois State.
Where it's 4th and about 7, and they hold up play momentarily to wipe the football off, and back in punt formation is Krause. Mike Krause, a 6-foot, 190-pound freshman, averaging 38.3. Had 2 or 3 short kicks at Northern last week. And Krause here has plenty of time, and he really booms one high. It's going to go out of bounds on the far side of the field. The official is going to mark the spot over there. Let's see where the angle is. He just keeps walking out, and it's going to be about the 18-yard line. So Illinois State will have it 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line, their own 18. No score. Opening period. We're down to 5 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Now, unofficially, about 28 yards on that kick, but at the same time, Krause was trying to angle, I think, for the sideline. Just about a great kick, but anytime you can pin an opponent inside the 20-yard line, of course, you've got to be happy with the punter's performance.
It'll be Mike Maines, a freshman wide receiver, coming out to the near side. He wears number 44, and this time they shift out of the eye, but they're going to go to Waters nevertheless, and Hearn is going to stop him standing up. Hearns with the head, the shoulders low, was waiting. He stepped right into the hole, and they collided at about the 16-yard line, and I think Mr. Waters will lose a yard or two.
Well, he met Mr. Hearn on that one. Mike Hearn, again, off to a great start this year for the second consecutive week, named the Gateway Defensive Player of the Week for his performance last week against Northern Illinois. Met him right in the hole as that time Illinois State off the lead out of split-backs, tried to go off the right side of that Leatherneck defense, but no doing. 2nd down and 9, Redbirds.
Yeah, he did gain a yard on the forward progress. Maines in motion, back to throw Williams, and he shovels it up to one of the wide receivers, I believe, and running with the football is Johnson, who is one of the running backs, and a little inside shovel there, as it looked like a passing play, and they just about get the first down. Johnson running.
No, good little play and a good safe call in that situation by the Redbird offensive coaches. They, in that particular type of scheme, what you're actually doing is optioning the end. The quarterback drops, and if that end comes up on the rush, and that time Western with some good outside pressure, he shovels the ball underneath to the running back or wide receiver coming out of the slot, and he just cuts up underneath that end, and that time pretty good play, pretty good yardage, and first down for Illinois State.
Is that a forward pass?
Behind the line of scrimmage, I believe it is a running play and not a pass completion. Yeah.
Waters will get the call this time, and are going to push him out to about the 30-yard line. And it'll bring up a 2nd down situation. 2-yard pickup by Waters on that one. So Johnson, the running back on the preceding play, got about 7 on the first down. They'll make a change at the, I was going to say tight end spot, and I'm not sure. Normally it's Jim McNicholas. 80 would be Bonnie Williams. We'll have to check the number again. 2nd down, about 8 from the 30-yard line. The Redbirds of ISU. Back to throw, Williams. He's going to run out of the pocket now, still looking. Pump's going to elude one tackler. He's out to the 40, and he really got hit hard at the 40-yard line. A double pump, and he got away with it. It took the defense away. Finally, Troutman and Rick Renner are going to converge to get him down at about the 40, and he'll pick up a first down, picking up 10.
Well, I'm not sure who the linebacker was over there who came up on the young quarterback from Illinois State as he tried to take it upfield. But that was a nice fake that Pat Williams threw. He pumped the arm. He was still behind the line of scrimmage and, of course, could have thrown the ball, but it was as good as a great hip fake. And he was able to get by and scramble upfield for good first down yardage.
No score, 3:45 remaining in the opening period. Waters to get the call. Waters back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Underneath this time, you'll find Rick Renner, Todd Auer, and there too is Kenny Greer. 2nd down, 10. Waters didn't get a thing. We've got him with 7 carries and 18 yards already here in the period with 3 minutes yet to play. I'm Larry Derry with Larry Mortier from the press box at Hanson Field. College football this afternoon. 2nd down, 10. Illinois State. Johnson is back, and there's the eye back. And they give the fake to Johnson. Williams wants to throw it. It's going to be picked off and then dropped. Intercepted, I thought. Momentarily it was by Al Davis. But he didn't hang on when he got hit by the intended target then. The receiver tackled him and the ball shook loose.
Well, off the bootleg action, Illinois State trying to hit their big tight end, Roberts. 88, and that was an excellent play by Al Davis as he cut in front of the intended receiver as the ball arrived, and it took a great job by Roberts to break that one up, or it would have been a big turnover and an interception for the Leatherneck defense.
So now it's 3rd and 10. Illinois State from their 40-yard line. Time running out. We're down to 3 minutes now. In the first quarter, no score from Hanson Field. Here comes the rush. Somebody got him from behind, I thought. Rick Renner got cut down from behind the line of scrimmage. Is that a legal blow?
Well, it is legal in what they call the tackle box. Any place on 3 yards either side of the line of scrimmage, in back of or downfield 3 yards. And that was pretty close. He was upfield quite a ways, but the official ruled that it was a legal block. But from here, it did look like a clip.
Meanwhile, the Pat Williams throw was incomplete. I was more concerned with Renner putting on the rush and getting cut down from behind. So now it's 4th and 10 from the 40, and that brings their punter, Mike McCabe, back into the lineup. McCabe with plenty of time. Not a good kick again. Off the side of the foot to the right. It'll go out of bounds in front of the Western bench. And out of bounds inside the 35. Western again will have decent field position starting from their 33-yard line. So the offensive unit back on the field for Western Illinois. They scored 10 a week ago in a win over at Northern Illinois, 10-0. 27 the week before when they downed Southwest Missouri, 27-10, their best offensive day of the year, 446 total yards. They scored 17 against Mankato State and winning 17-13. This is Charo. He'll hurdle across the line of scrimmage and pick up 3 or 4 yards.
Simple pitch off the left side that time to Chris Charo. Out of the I formation, did a good job of getting over some blocking on right at the line of scrimmage to pick up give him about 3. 2nd down and 7.
Tom Blumenshine, who wears number 7, a senior strong safety from Peoria Bergen High School. And a defensive leader for the Redbirds, helped to make the stop on Chris Charo after a gain of about 3. So 2nd down 7 for Paul Singer. And Western Illinois winters the snap. Singer's the short throw. No, he's going to go a little deeper now, and it's going to be incomplete. Intended for Nate Blanks, and he had to come back after the ball and slip down and trapped it, says the official. And it's incomplete.
Excuse me, Larry. There was a good read that time by Paul Singer and by the wide receiver Nate Blanks. Illinois State in what we used to call 2 coverage, both corners up and 2 deep in the secondary. The corner banged him around pretty good at the line of scrimmage, and Nate was just trying to get into the seam between the corner up front and the safety behind him, and Singer did a nice job of laying it in there. Got it just a little bit too far behind him, though, as you said, and he had to come back for it and skid it on the turf before he could come up with a catch.
And now it's going to be 3rd and 7 Western from their 38-yard line. Maher in motion, back to throw is Singer. Nobody got one of the uncharging, safety blitz, I guess. It was Blumenshine that came through untouched to drop Singer back at the 30-yard line.
No, not a chance, and you called it exactly right. Safety blitz, free safety blitz. Blumenshine snuck up just before the snap and came through untouched. Good call by defensive coordinator Gus Patches for Illinois State in that situation. The Singer really had no chance at all to get rid of that one.
So Krause is in, and he'll be looking to boom one deep here. He doesn't have to worry about a sideline. He's got a lot of turf in front of him with the line of scrimmage back at the 30, and he does. Gets his foot into it pretty good. And a fair catch going to be called for on the far side. The receiver drops on his back, but hung on to the ball at the 35-yard line.
Now that wind's got to be a little bit of a factor, although it doesn't look like from here. The flag, now let's move in, and that ball was affected somewhat by the wind. As Krause with great hang time gets that ball really high in the air, and it carried a little bit on the Redbird return man. He was lucky to catch it.
Well, it goes for about 35 yards, but the hang time was tremendous for the freshman punter from Western. 1st and 10, Illinois State from their own 35-yard line. It's been a defensive first quarter that's rapidly drawing to a close here at Hanson Field. And here comes the draw, and shaking off a tackler will be Waters, and finally he'll get back to the line of scrimmage when Troutman makes the hit and brings him down for a gain of perhaps a yard.
Lamalino also in on the tackle over there. I believe it was Renner who had a chance to make the stop in the backfield and just slipped away. Still a gain of just barely a yard. Give him a yard. They spot the ball at the 27.
If I'm not mistaken, they got Marty Casper in there, and I think it was Casper 31 and not 34 that had the ball for a 1-yard gain. 2nd down 9. Waters and Casper are both in there for ISU right now. And the give is going to go to Waters, and he looks for a hole, couldn't find anything, and slipped down. As turning the play in nicely and fighting off the block was Kenny Greer on the near side. And Waters goes down at the 35. And it'll be a loss of about a yard, and therefore bringing up third and about 10 for Illinois State. So Waters, who has seen the ball 8 times by our unofficial count, has rushed for 17 yards now. Western with the 4-man front. Renner and Auer the tackles. And I believe the 2 big guys it is, isn't it? Kenny Greer and Shannon Ferry, the ends, and that's the end of one. We played a quarter of this one, and no score from Hanson Field, Western Illinois, and Illinois State.
At halftime, there'll be a special presentation and dedication of the scoreboard. And with us today, Thermal Telephone Company, and as you see there,
Stroh's, fire brewed for smooth, consistent taste. Now you're talking beer.
St.
Paul, Minnesota.
Distributed by Gordy Weston, State Governmental Affairs Executive. Welcome
the future of our region, our nation,
Western
and our
General
world.
Hotel.
Western Illinois University hopes to unlock the power of young minds by providing more scholarships in the years ahead to students who've exhibited exceptional achievement in their academic work as high school students. Mind Power, a resource being tapped through the Western Illinois University Foundation. Education unlocks the mind and frees it to seek creative solutions to tomorrow's challenges. Your contribution will help. This message from the WIU Foundation.
Another crowd raising Keene out in front. Of course, as Mike Morrison said, that all adds to the enjoyment of playing the game of college football. We've got a crowd, I'd say, similar to what we had on the opening day here at the right place, Western Illinois. It looks like another 11,000 or so people in the stands. And I'm sure if we'd had sunshine and a better day, we would have had a record-setting number of people here, as we expect 2 weeks from today for homecoming. Now Pat Williams, the freshman quarterback, out of the shotgun, bobbles the ball. He's going to outrun the defense anyway, and he'll get a first down to the 35. Williams to the 40 and dives out to the 45-yard line. He bobbled the ball back in the shotgun formation, picked it up and ran with it, and still got plenty of yardage.
Well, that can happen. It has the same effect as a draw, where everybody comes upfield, and in Williams, as you said, dropped the snap, and the contained from the right side got upfield too far and then got turned in. Everybody else with a deep drop that time, expecting pass as they should, and Williams had plenty of running room down the left sideline to pick up the first down for Illinois State. Took it all the way out to the 45-yard line.
We're at the beginning of the second period, and no score at Hanson Field. Western Illinois and Illinois State. First down, ISU from their own 45 as they go now toward the south end of the field. Waters gets the call. He eludes one tackler in the backfield, but not about 3 others. As getting over is Bruce McCray, a hard-nosed defensive back. And Waters is going to lose a yard or 2, I believe. Mike Hearn got over there, too. And who missed the tackle earlier? Was it Kenny Greer or?
He slipped out of Kenny Greer's grasp, but again, Kenny Greer with a good play off from his left defensive end position. Waters was trying to go up inside of Greer, but wasn't able to get there, and he was forced wide. And of course, then the pursuit took over with McCray and Hearn and a host of Leatherneck tacklers in on the play.
Waters, a sophomore from Springfield, Illinois, 5'9", 175, has carried 9 times now for 13. Out of the shotgun again, Pat Williams going to throw one deep, and it's going to be caught, I believe, at the 20-yard line and inside to the 18. The coverage provided there by Marcus Ballard, and I believe, too, by Western Illinois linebacker Lamalino, who's wearing 54. That's normally Westemeyer's number, remember, but not at home. So that would be Lamalino. But maybe a little mix-up on the coverage and the pass completion by Pat Williams as he went deep. And the receiving end was Tim Turner.
Well, I think that time Lamalino, without the back out of the backfield, just turned and ran with Turner. That was a good throw by Williams. There's no question about that. That was the reason that ball was completed right on the money. Lamalino just lost sight of it, and I believe it was McCray or Ballard behind, just couldn't get there in time.
It went inside the 20-yard line. Did I say the 30 a moment ago? They're inside the 20 at about the 18, and Waters getting the call, running into the forward wall of Western Illinois.
There you know, in on the tackle.
As you get maybe a couple of yards, maybe a yard when they set it down. At the 17-yard line, it is 1 for Waters, and it's going to be 2nd and 9 for Illinois State. First scoring threat really of the day. 13 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Scoreless tie, Western Illinois and Illinois State. 2nd down 9, 17 yards away, and the backs are really split here. Williams backs up. The timing throw into the corner of the end zone. Caught. Touchdown, Illinois State. And the man beaten on the far side, although it looked like he had excellent coverage, was Tom Scott. But this man, Tim Turner, can catch the ball on the ground, it appears.
Oh, I tell you, that was a great catch by Tim Turner and an excellent throw again by the freshman quarterback. Excellent coverage. You couldn't ask any more out of Tom Scott as he was running stride for stride on that. And that's one of those situations, if the ball is thrown perfectly, that split second when the receiver has a chance to, he knows where the football is going. Tom Scott with his back to it has to just look when the receiver looks, and that ball was right on the money. Again, another great catch by Tim Turner, and Illinois State gets on the board first here with 12:48 remaining in the second period.
And a great kicker, Paul Politi, splits the uprights, and Politi now, I believe, Larry, with 84 consecutive PATs. 84 in a row for Politi. And that'll make it 7-0. Illinois State with the lead over Western, and 12:48 remaining here in the first half.
Friends of George Lipper, Chick Flack chairman, purchase this commercial time to ask your serious consideration of George Lipper as our messenger to fight for jobs, roads, and a better way to fund education.
I'm George Lipper. I have a different philosophy about representation than the incumbent. I think a representative's time ought to be spent fighting for the things you say are important. I have the knowledge and experience in state and local government to be an effective fighter for your goals.
That's why George Lipper should be your choice for 95th District State Representative. Send a message. Vote for George Lipper.
3 of Firestone's better radios, including the popular 721, are specially priced to save you a lot of money right now. Drive over for these big reductions off original 86 prices and cents of Ford. Long mileage 721 radios and S211 radios for import cars and white-lettered SS radios. Prices at all sizes are reduced, but hurry. Savings end November 1st at Nixon Oil and Tire, 120 North Johnson in Macomb.
So Illinois State has grabbed the lead, and they made it look easy going to this Tim Turner when they decided to go to the passing game, and Williams really put the ball on the money twice to Turner, who came up with great catches to put ISU on top 7-0. Politi with a high, lazy kick taken by Brown from the 1, the leading kickoff return man of the nation. That's the 40, and out to the 43-yard line. It'll be a 42-yard return for downtown Elbert.
Well, the Leatherneck fan just can't wait to see that young man get his hands on the ball, because every time he does, he is a threat to score. The leading punt returner in the nation, as you said, that time with good blocking up front, just about had it broken. Took a couple of good open field tackles there. It took a good open field tackle at the 45 to prevent Albert Brown from going all the way.
Well, from the 1-yard line to about the 42.5, nearly a 42-yard return for Brown. In motion to the near side comes Chris Earl. He wears number 88, but the play is on the ground, and Western picking up some yardage the tough way. To about the 47-yard line goes Brett Grimshaw, the sophomore from Burlington, Iowa. And he followed that time the big man, the tackle to the right. That would be Russ Spall at 6'4", about a 300-pound junior, and Keith Blue at 6'3", 265, the guard on that side. So a long 3 for Grimshaw. On his first carry, I believe, of the afternoon, and Western trails now. That's the first TD we've seen them allow in that was 8 consecutive scoreless quarters for Western's defense. So from the 47-yard line, here comes the delay, and Matthews, I believe, will get the call, or is it Perrin? Bob Matthews will wear number 29, and out to about the 49 goes Matthews, and a gain of a couple of yards, maybe 3. Illinois State with a 5-man front in Juler. In the middle, Kropke in shorts, I believe, are the tackles. Jerkus and Skabinski, I think, are the ends. Kropke wears 68 and barking the defensive signals. Gant and Brinley, the linebackers, although Rodriguez is in there a lot, too. He wears number 50. So it's going to be 3rd and 3, Western Illinois. Singer at quarterback. He started the day. Michael Cox in the backfield, but Singer wants to throw, and he does. And he rifles one. A flag goes down where the ball was nearly caught by Nate Blanks. It's ruled incomplete, but let's check out the marker. The defensive play by Warren Calhoun out of Chicago. believe they're talking it over maybe with Western Illinois.
Now, number 6 for Illinois State. Calhoun, the safety, was indicating that he thought it was going to go against Western. But it looked like from here that Joe Maher got held, or Blanks got held, but somebody in that vicinity had a hold of a jersey, and that's what they're going to call. Well, they're going to call defensive pass interference on the Redbirds, which will set the Leathernecks up inside the 40-yard line of Illinois State in the first down.
So first and 10, Western Illinois by way of penalty. 39 yards away from what would be a tying score. 11-11. The scoreboard is full of aces. Remaining in the second quarter, 7-0 Illinois State. Scored on a 17 or 18-yard timing pattern. Williams into the corner of the end zone to Tim Turner, and they made it look perfect. A first down, 39 of Illinois State. In motion, Albert Brown to the near side. Singer's going to roll this way, and he throws to the end. The freshman running back dropped the ball, and right on top of him was 223-pound senior linebacker Brian Gant.
Now, a little flat pattern that time by Michael Cox, trying to get him out into the open field. He's a dangerous open field runner. That time the ball, pretty good touch by Singer, but it got just a little bit behind Cox, and he wasn't able to come up with a catch. Second down and 10 now from the Redbird 39.
Northern Illinois playing at Miami today, the number 1 ranked team in the country, and UPI billed it this morning as the biggest college upset in history if Northern should happen to win that one.
I saw a line won someplace 55 points. I think that's probably being generous.
The volleyball girls at Macomb High in their classic over at Brophy today won their opening match, and they had another one scheduled at 1 this afternoon. It should be near completion as well. Second and 10 with Brown in motion. Singer bootlegs, throws it over the middle. His receiver went down, came back after the ball on his knees. That's Nate Blanks, and I thought he had a defender all over him.
Now, Calhoun came right over the top of Nate Blanks. Nate Blanks slipped, but the official in the secondary, the back judge, saw it a little bit differently, as Calhoun, of course, has a right to that football, too. And they whistled the play incomplete. Illinois State with a lot of pressure, that time again coming with pressure from the secondary. Right play call that time where Leathernecks is off the play action. Singer was able to get to the outside, really wasn't under any pressure, and working against man-to-man coverage from the Redbird secondary.
Singer came in 3 games, 27 of 58 for 243 throwing yards, a couple of TDs. He'd been picked off 3 times. Today we got him 4 of 9 for 80 yards. And he looks at third and 10 now at the 39-yard line of ISU, and they're going to shoot through again. Here comes the blitz. Singer's going to throw one out for Blanks, and he's got it. At the 20, and out of bounds at the 19-yard line. You can see that one coming. Blanks got himself free for a moment, and that's all Singer needed.
Now working again one-on-one against Calhoun. Nate Blanks with a good move to the outside. Paul Singer with great protection from that Leatherneck front against the ISU blitz. Was able to get the ball out to his talented senior receiver. Enough for the first down as they spot the ball at the 17-yard line of Illinois State, as the Leathernecks coming right back now, trying to tie this one up here with 10:53 remaining in the first half.
21 yards, I believe, on the pass run that time from Singer to Nate Blanks. Now Blanks is out of the lineup, but I believe Wolford may be in. Brown to the right side. To the near side is number 22 instead. The ball on the ground, though, and making the stop will be John Kropke on Michael Cox, perhaps.
Now that looked like vintage Kropke there. That gentleman, Big John's got 6'4", 258 pounds. He's a junior from Addison Trail High School, and he's a perennial. He's an All-American candidate. There's no question about it, and he's just a fine defensive tackle. He, on the season coming in, has 9 tackles for loss. He added one there as they're going to spot the ball 2 yards back a little further for the Leathernecks, and the ball spotted now at the 20-yard line, bringing up a second down and 12.
A -2 for Cox, and out of the I formation, Western Illinois 20 yards away from a tying score in the second quarter. Second and 12, long count by Singer. He may have him offside. He'll throw anyway to Blanks, but I believe they whistled the play dead. Blanks says, I'm going to go to the end zone just in case.
Well, evidently there was some contact out of the secondary again that time. Redbird's defender in the neutral zone and must have bumped one of those offensive linemen as they blew it dead before Blanks had a chance to do anything. It was they were going to throw the quick pattern that time. Blanks taking 2 or 3 steps upfield, turn around, look for the ball from Singer, who off a 3-step drop threw a perfect strike to him. But they're going to mark off 5 against the Redbirds. It's still going to be second down, but now second and 7.
You know, a moment ago, Western caught me by surprise. They had the wide receiver Steve Williams in the game, who we haven't seen that much. I said number 22. We haven't seen Tim Wolford, and I was wondering why. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I have not heard anything in terms of any injuries for Timmy Wolford. Of course, that's been the story his entire career here. He's been plagued by nagging injuries, and he could very well be hurting a little bit. But the Leathernecks got a bunch of fine young receivers behind two very talented ones, in Nate Blanks and Albert Brown. It's nice to know that you can go to 3 or 4 because on days like this particularly, those receivers can get pretty tired.
But numbers 1 and 2 are back in there now. Brown and Blanks, the two Omaha speedsters, with Western at the 15-yard line and looking at second down, 8 after the 5-yard walk-off. The backs are split. Singer wants to throw. He looks for Brown. Corner of the end zone. Tosses it up, and it's going to be on the second opportunity. Almost caught by Brown. Boy, we saw too much of that in the Macomb High game last night, but the defender, Gary Conley, got the better of it. He knocked it away, and Brown just missed coming down with the tip ball.
Well, I tell you, as a secondary coach, a defensive coach, period, you hate to see that happen. When that ball is up in the air like that, it's anybody's football, and Nate Blanks just about came up with a great catch in the right corner of the end zone.
You know, the Macomb defender last night in overtime went up and tried to catch the ball rather than really trying to knock it away, and when it slid right on through his hands, they caught it in the end zone, and the extra point beat Macomb High.
Well, of course, I was listening to his broadcast last night, and that's a shame. That's a heck of a way to lose one.
Now 3rd and 8. Singer's going to try to throw the ball again over the middle. He's got a man open, and in the end zone, he got it out there and overshot Nate Blanks. Blanks had himself free on the post pattern and had the defensive back beaten, who in that instance, I believe, was Jim Nayland in there. But Singer led him a little too far, and that's going to bring up a 4th and 8 now with a football near the 15-yard line. 7-0, Illinois State with the lead, and 10 minutes remaining in the half. That'll bring in Iman. Bannistock is on the field. He'll put the ball down at about the 23. And Iman will try to split the uprights from there, making it a 33-yard field goal. So Bannistock checks with the kicker, says he's ready, spots it down after the snap. Iman's got the distance, and he's got no, it's wide to the right side. It's wide to the right, and he doesn't get it, and we'll be back in 30 seconds.
Thirst is hit, along with those hunger pains we all know so well. There's only one thing that will ease the thirst and the hunger you're experiencing: McDonald's. McDonald's can offer you the best in hamburger variety and thirst-quenching drinks. Anytime is the best time for McDonald's. After the yelling and cheering during your favorite game, head over to McDonald's and ease the throat with an ice-cold soft drink. McDonald's, your thirst-quenching and hunger-easing headquarters. West Jackson in Macomb.
Illinois State then will take over from their own 20-yard line after the missed field goal, and a throw by Williams to the near side. He's looking for this Turner all the time now, and the 2 catches he made earlier for him. But he overshoots him on the near sideline right in front of the ISU coaching staff. Well, Bob Otowski is the head coach. I think he came in from Indiana, didn't he?
Yes, he was a very, very successful high school football coach in Indiana, and then went on to join the Indiana University staff, and then off the Indiana University staff joined the Redbirds 6 years ago.
Dan Mortier. Now, is Mortier down on the sideline, or is he up above?
I believe Dan walks the sidelines. That's probably good. I don't think he could handle any press box activity. He's got to be moving all the time. He's been with Otowski since the beginning. He's done a pretty good job over there, Bob Otowski has. He's got some good players, and they've been on the verge of being a really fine program. They've won some big games since he's come to Illinois State.
A 5-yard walk-off, evidently, against Western while we were dabbing, and here comes Henry Waters. He'll follow the line of scrimmage, and out beyond the 30 he goes to the 35-yard line. A romp of 10 by Waters, and a first down.
The penalty, 5-yard offside walk-off against Western, off the incomplete pass to Williams. And that time Waters over the right side, good blocking out the right side, hurdled a would-be tackler 2 or 3 yards downfield and picked up a good gain all the way out to the 35-yard line.
So it is a first down. Illinois State with the lead, 7-0 over Western. We're in the second quarter from the 35-yard line. It may be Waters getting the call again. Henry Waters has missed 2 or 3 games, but getting a workout today.
Now, they started the season, of course, with Henry Waters and had high hopes for him. And then he went down in the Southwest Missouri game with them leading 16-0 and really hurt them offensively as they turned around and eventually lost that ball game 17-16. And, of course, they've missed him the last couple weeks. He's an excellent running back, and he put some life into this ISU offense.
I think Western has brought on Brian Cox now as one of their defensive tackles, and they're going to go deep for Turner again, and almost picked off, and almost caught on the hit ball by this Turner. He had single coverage that time, it appeared, from Tom Scott, and this Turner is deceiving with the speed. He was streaking down the sideline again, and I held my breath because I thought they had another completion.
Now, he's not a very big athlete, Tim Turner. He's listed at 5'9", 150 pounds, and 5'9" is probably stretching, but he has outstanding speed, and he proved it on that one as he had Tom Scott beat there momentarily, and Scott with a great play to knock that one away at the last minute.
Brian Bosma is in as one of their tight ends now. He wears number 86. They expected Chris Roberts back today, and I think we've seen 88 some. Out of the shotgun on 3rd and 7, over the middle, the completion, and a tackle from behind, but it's going to be a first down, I believe. Marcus Ballard made the tackle. The completion, I believe, to whom? One of the backs, Gary Conley, wears number 18, but he's a defensive back.
Well, I was looking at the same thing. Conley listed as a defensive back. Of course, you got that kind of ability. He could be used in spot situations as a receiver. That time on the delay coming underneath the linebackers, and Williams with good execution for on the pass play to get the first down yardage for ISU now up to the 45-yard line.
With 8.5 minutes to play, and up the middle they go, and they'll pick up about 6 yards more as their offensive line taking the toll on the defensive line of Western Illinois. Waters will get about 6 yards, it appears, and in the Western territory at the 49. Western making some changes. As I said a moment ago, Brian Cox in that defensive line.
Illinois State doing a good job of mixing things up here offensively right now with the pass and using Waters and the fullback occasionally up the middle.
So it's going to be a 2nd down 4 situation from about midfield. Back to throw, Pat Williams. He's got time. Over the middle it goes, and it's going to be incomplete. He threw it right into a circle of about 5 purple and gold Western players as he wanted to go deep. And I believe that guy is wearing 18, and I sure didn't think they'd have one of their defensive backs in there as a wide receiver.
Now, we'll see if we can't get a number correction on that. But, again, he was the intended receiver. If it is Connolly, deep in over the middle in a post pattern, Williams with excellent protection that time, not much pressure, too much time to throw, in fact. But as you said, he threw it, he either slipped or he just made a poor throw because it was closer to the purple shirts than it was that time to the intended receiver, number 18, Conley.
So at the Western 49, approximately, it's going to be 3rd and a short 5. Out of the shotgun again, Williams back to throw. Brian Thomas from the near side. The toss here, knocked away by Hearn. Good defensive play by Mark Hearn. Intended for Brian Bosma, the tight end, and Hearn stuck right with him and got there to knock the ball away, and it brings up a punting situation. So that's going to bring in their punter, Mike McKay, for about the 4th time in the first half. Illinois State hanging on, 7-0. They lead Western with 7:49 to play in the half. Marcus Ballard inside the 15-yard line, anticipating the punt. And here it comes from McCabe. He hangs one high, and Ballard says, let it sail into the end zone, and out it goes over the end line. They'll bring it out to the 20, 1st and 10 Western when we get back in 30 seconds.
Service is an important part of today's busy world. That's why McDonough Telephone Cooperative is constantly working to make the service they give you the very best that it can be. Whether it's getting your service rep on site quickly or providing you with the latest options like call waiting, three-way connect, or the newest style of phones available, McDonough Telephone is constantly working to make the service they provide the very best that is available. Give McDonough Telephone a call today at 309-776-3211. McDonough Telephone Cooperative, online for you every day of the week.
Brown and Blanks, the wide receivers. We're into the latter half of the second period, and Western down 7-0 to the Redbirds of Illinois State on Parents' Day. Singer to throw, and he looks, and he's got a man open, I believe. It's going to be incomplete, though, intended for Blanks out at the 30-yard line, but Blanks has to come back after the ball again, and he couldn't come up with it.
Now, good pattern by Blanks that time. Just the ball, I think, a little bit underthrown by Paul Singer as he was open on the curl pattern on the right side.
So it'll bring up 2nd down 10 And I was looking, I believe Conley is playing defense wearing 18, and I believe the guy that we thought maybe was 18 perhaps is wearing number 10 down here on the bench. Looks like an 8 when you look at it. A little closer, it is a 10. Second down 10 anyway. Western Illinois needs to get something going, and Michael Cox didn't. He's going to be tossed behind the line of scrimmage for about a 4-yard loss. So Illinois State's defensive line handling things up front right now as Cox will lose about 4. John Kropke is there on him.
Again, good penetration. Illinois State using a lot of pressure. Again, brought the linebacker that time. Kropke coming out of his defensive tackle position up into the inside gap, again with penetration.
Cox with a couple of carries and negative yardage, a -6. And now Western will look at 3rd and 14. 7:05 remaining in the second period. Singer started at a quarterback and has gone all the way. But I would imagine the coaches would take a look at Fanistock if they don't get moving soon. 3rd and 14 from the 16-yard line. Singer double pump. Throws one deep. Nate Blanks is the target. Let's picked off at midfield. It'll be grabbed away by Jeff Smith, the Canton, Ohio free safety for Illinois State. Singer threw it up for grabs, and it's picked off by Jeff Smith.
Now that was poor decision that time by Singer. Off the sprint out to the left side. He's trying to hit Nate Blanks on the post pattern. That's a difficult throw for a quarterback to throw the ball that far going to your left, and Blanks was well covered, both the corner and the safety Smith, who eventually came up with the interception in the vicinity of Nate Blanks there. And the Redbirds with a break here. They're going to start at their own 49-yard line, leading in this one with 6:45 remaining in the first half, 7-0.
And the give is going to go to the tailback, Waters. He'll bounce off a couple of tacklers across the 50 inside the Western 45 before Hearn and the teammates got him down, but it's going to be a gain of about 7 yards for Waters. 7 yards for Waters on the carry. He came in with 69 rushing yards. He only played in one game, the win over Eastern Illinois, when the injury came. And they're still without Ed Cheatham, the quarterback that transferred in from Drake, but Williams isn't looking too bad, this freshman. 2nd down 3 after Waters got 7. Here comes Waters again to the right side. Caught from behind on the jersey pull by whom?
Looks like Shannon Berry that time from his left defensive tackle position. It's going to bring, they're going to spot it at about the 43, setting up a 3rd down and about 2. Big play for the Leathernecks as the Redbirds here in pretty good field position, a pretty good scoring opportunity to attempt to extend their lead. Leathernecks would like to stop them right here, get the ball back themselves, and try to even this thing up before halftime.
We've got Waters, 15 carries for 41 yards. 3rd and 2 now at the Western 43-yard line. Waters will get the call again with the head down. He runs into nothing but a wall, but he may be close anyway. Dion Melvin, 5'11", 205, senior linebacker from Aurora, had just checked in on that play. And La Molino was in on a 2. He's wearing 54. If you look at the program, that probably says Westemeyer.
Now he's going to be short. There'll be no measurement. It's still going to be about, it's going to be 4th and about 1. Illinois State may like to take a timeout here as Williams is up visiting with the referee. I believe he's trying to get him to measure the football, and they may do so.
They are going to measure for the first down with 5:01 remaining in the half. Illinois State leading at 7-0, and we'll pause for this message.
Maybe it's time to get out of line. Lining up to do your banking has never been a popular practice at any bank. At Citizens National Bank, we're doing our best to keep our customers out of lines with fast, efficient services. As a locally owned and locally operated company, we have the capability to make decisions faster. We have a strong commitment to the community and the people who live here. And because we're oriented to this community, we're in tune with your needs. When you bank with your home-owned bank, your money stays close to home, working, building, helping improve the quality of life for you and your family. If you bank with Citizens, we want to tell you how much we appreciate your business. If you don't, get out of line and bank on the convenience and strength of Citizens National Bank.
See the experts, see the professionals, see the people who know at the
Citizens National Bank, your home-owned, full-service bank. Member FDIC.
Illinois State was a half-yard shy of the first down, and they're playing it conservatively. They brought in the punter, Mike McCabe, and what a job he did. He just spiraled the ball out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. Western will be deep in their own territory. The nose of the ball touching the 5. First and 10 Western with 4:41 remaining in the half. They've got to go 95 yards to tie this one up. The Redbirds lead at 7-0.
Now, it's a situation where you want to be careful. You certainly don't want to do anything that would give Illinois State the football here, so I'm sure the play calling at this point would be conservative.
So the give is going to be to Michael Cox, and the offensive line is going to carry him out to about the 10-yard line. It's going to be a gain of about 5 yards for Michael Cox. He did negative yardage on a couple of carries, but now he goes to the positive side, this freshman from East St. Louis. Illinois State has really controlled the first half. They lead it only by a score of 7-0. Run probably 3 or 4 times the number of offensive plays, as has Western Illinois. Waters himself has carried the ball more than what Western has run plays, I believe. Second down, a short 5, and on the ground again, Western stacked up at about the 11 or 12-yard line will be the ball carrier, and it's not Cox this time. Right into the thick of things, and we look to see who the running back would be, and it is number 29, and for Western Illinois, that's probably Matthews, the Cincinnati, Ohio senior, and a big man, a 230-pounder, so he maybe picked up a yard. And it's going to be third and about 3 for Western Illinois. They've got to get the ball to the 15 from the 12-yard line. Tom Bragg is in now for the first time, I believe, this afternoon. The tight end that alternates with Joe Maher. Third down 3, Western. From the 12-yard line, they're on 12. The give is going to go to Grimshaw, and Grimshaw will be caught behind the line of scrimmage all the way back at the 5-yard line. That play, with that kind of pursuit, you better have a speedier back than Grimshaw in there, running laterally and giving up a lot of yardage. Caught back at the 5.
Illinois State again with pressure from their inside linebackers. There was no place for Grimshaw to go. Penetration will kill that kind of play, and on this particular turf, with Grimshaw running the football, he's not going to have time to get turned up, and that was the case in that one. Big play for Illinois State as they're going to get the ball back with another chance to extend this lead with now 2:35 remaining here in the first half.
Krause is right back on the end line on 4th and 9 from the 4 or 5-yard line. And a timeout now going to be taken by Western. They were hoping to maybe get 5 yards, perhaps calling for the long count and drawing Illinois State offside. They didn't get it. The timeout taken. Western's in trouble and down 7-0. We'll be back in a minute.
Attention shoppers, Hager Pottery is extending their factory outlet store hours during WIU's Parents Weekend. Stop by Hager Pottery's factory outlet, 411 West Calhoun in Macomb, and browse through their great selection of home essentials. You're sure to find something to add that special touch to your home. They'll be open Friday, October 3rd, 8:30 a.m.
Also has a large selection of extremely nice used cars at very low interest. New or used, Woodrum's gives you the advantage.
So the punt by Krause out of the end zone, not one of his better ones, is going to bounce out at the 35-yard line to the 37 and down by Western Illinois right there. Here comes a marker out, and we're going to have a walk-off against Western Illinois, probably a personal foul. Frank Winters throws up his hands, but the 15-yard walk-off, I would imagine forthcoming, puts Illinois State in beautiful position with 2:18 remaining in the half, and they lead at 7-0 already.
You certainly can't afford mistakes like that. You're in bad place in your defense in bad field position the way it is. But then to turn around and tack on a 15-yard penalty is certainly not the thing you want to do in this situation. Obviously.
Personal foul, Western Illinois. They don't tell you who, but Frank Winters is the guy guilty. And when they step off the 15, not from the point of the foul either, but from the line of scrimmage, I guess. Or no, but from the point of the foul, which is even worse, it'll go to the 21-yard line. And look where ISU is. Leading 7-0. And 21 yards away with 2:18 remaining in the half. And ISU sitting in a pretty good position. Williams is onto the field. Waters comes off, though. Henry Waters is out. So they'll go with a single back set here. In fact, they're going to go out of the shotgun formation. Williams backing up about 5 or 6 yards from the line of scrimmage, wants to throw. Western trying to put some pressure on, didn't, and the toss is going to be complete but short. Hearn with the coverage, and the ball caught at about the 13-yard line.
Well, I'm sure Williams wanted to go deep. It looked like he was looking to throw the deep post that time. took the secondary receiver underneath the linebackers on the delay. The gain's going to be about 3 yards. Clock running with 1:54 remaining now in the first half. Illinois State with a second down and 8 at the 18-yard line.
So Garrett, the receiver, that is number 10, picked up only 3 yards on the reception, and the official here in the first half.
Illinois State coming in this one only giving up 106 yards, which ranks them 20th in 1AA in the nation in rushing defense.
Second down, 7. Williams back to throw out of the shotgun, but the whistle is going to hold up play. And I'm not sure. I didn't see a flag come out at all. But the whistle sounded, and we left to check with the officiating crew, and evidently somebody had called a timeout for Illinois State. Is that what happened?
I'm not real sure. I didn't see any signal. I don't know whether it's a charge timeout or whether Pat Williams didn't like something that he saw from the Leatherneck defense and quickly called a timeout. He may have been the only one to see it. He might have yelled it out, in fact. A lot of times that will happen. But anyway, Illinois State's going to take a timeout here. Illinois State's a darn good football team. Coach Craddock has mentioned, has talked about that all week. You know, they could easily be 3-1 with close losses to Southwest Missouri State and to Wayne State 2 weeks ago, and then, as you said, playing Oklahoma State real well. They beat Eastern early in the year, and Eastern, of course, is ranked nationally, so you know the talent's there. They've been particularly strong defensively all year, and I just anticipated this one to be a real close one, and that's the way it's turned out in the first half.
Well, now the officiating crew trying to get the attention of the scoreboard operator, and the new scoreboard message board will be dedicated here at halftime. General telephone representatives will be on hand for that. And our game brought to you in part by Holiday Inn. It features Gibson Lounge and Gibson Restaurant. Fine dining at the Macomb Holiday Inn and Greer Building Center. Everything for the builder, garages, kitchens, hardware. That's Greer Building Center. That'll be with us throughout the basket 7. And out of the shotgun again with Billy Garrett, the wide receiver, on the near side. He's normally one of their starters. We didn't see him early. Back to throw, Williams. Here comes the rush from Renner. Williams escapes. He's to the 20, 15, and down he goes at about the 12-yard line. Bruce McCray got him down at the 12. It'll be a gain of about 5 or 6, and it's going to be very close to a first down.
Now, the freshman quarterback showing excellent mobility and good speed as, again, he got to the outside of the Leatherneck containment. Good pressure that time from Todd Auer, but Williams escaped, got upfield, I believe.
Turned to the near side, Garrett. And Williams this time right in behind his center. The freshman quarterback with a snap will go to Waters, and Waters is going to be stopped at the 10-yard line. The whole middle of the defensive front 5 or 6 will be there. So not much gain for Waters, maybe a yard at the most. I don't even think they're going to give him that much. But Waters has seen the ball some 16 times already today. Quite a workhorse after taking 3 weekends off. So it's going to be second and still about 10 for Illinois State. New number in the backfield, I believe. Checking it now is Postel. Postel, they tell me it is. And Williams is going to play fake up the middle and throw one into the end zone, and it's going to be a touchdown, Illinois State. And quite a diving grab going to be made right in front of Mike Hearn. And the catch made, I believe, by Jim McNicholas, his 10th catch of the year, his first touchdown. But Illinois State has struck with another score.
Now, that time off the play action, Illinois State in a tight set, powerized set. The play action held the corner. And the tight end, McNicholas, slipping out upfield and then to the corner of the end zone, made a great catch on a pretty darn good throw from Pat Williams for the Illinois State touchdown.
And the second one that Pat Williams has thrown this year. So now it'll be Politi, who has hit 84 straight. He won't miss this one either, probably. That's 85 in a row for Paul Politi. And Illinois State shoots out ahead of Western 14-0 now with 40 seconds left in the half when we get back.
The real issue in the race for state representative is whether Kent Slater has done a good job for Western Illinois. If you like the fact that our district's road budget has increased from $19 million to $34 million, and that over $10 million of state funds have been returned for economic development, then you'll vote to re-elect Kent Slater. Kent Slater, Republican, the person from Western Illinois for Western Illinois. Re-elect Kent Slater. He listens and works for you.
Paid for by Slater for State Representative Committee.
Make Orbit Inn in Macomb your headquarters for wine and liquor this year. The handy drive-up window makes shopping quick and easy. And right now you can get a 12-pack of Busch for only $3.99. A case of Miller only $8.99.
A case of Milwaukee's Best for just $5.79, and Bud or Bud Light in non-returnable bottles, now only $4.99. Drive on into Orbit Inn today, and don't forget to pick up your lotto tickets at Orbit Inn, McClellan Plaza on East Jackson Road in Macomb.
So Paul Politi will be kicking off, and Albert Brown, number 1, will be deep. And wouldn't this be a beautiful spot for one? 14-0, Redbirds with the lead over the Leathernecks on Parents' Day at Western Illinois. Only 40 seconds remaining, and I'm sure Illinois State well aware of the fact they want to keep an eye on number 1, Albert Brown. So here's the approach by number 9, Politi. A line drive type kick going to be fielded at the 15 by Western, and that'll be Steve Williams out to the 30. He's got some running room to the 35 and the 40-yard line, and upended there. Pretty good return by Williams, 25 yards, and he's got Western out at the 40, but time running out in the first half.
Well, there's 32 seconds officially left in the first half. I'm sure we're going to see Paul Singer air it out here. The Leathernecks have got to attempt to get back in this one, trailing 14-0 at this point. It's been a pretty good first half for Illinois State, and an excellent first half for freshman quarterback Pat Williams, as he's been nearly flawless. He's thrown the ball well when he's had to and scrambled when he's had to, and has really been the key to their offensive success in the first half.
So Singer throws quickly to the outside screen on the far side to Brown, who will step out of bounds after about a 7-yard pickup. Albert Brown taking the quick screen to the outside on the far side of the field will get about 7 on the completion from Singer.
Now, the important thing was he got out of bounds. That play only taking 5 seconds. Going to set up a 2nd down and 3 now. With the ball spotted at about the 46, 47-yard line.
Illinois State with a rugged defensive crew, and they've lost 3 games in a row, and they want to bring that to an end, and they're off to a pretty good beginning in a series that has seen the home team win each of the last 10 times. 2nd down, 3 now at the 46-yard line. Western on their side of the 50 with time running out in the half. Singer, look, taking a lot of time here, and he's going to be sacked. No, he got out of it and throws short to Michael Cox, who'll get it out to the 50 for a first down. They pick up about 3. Timeout going to be taken by Western, as calling the timeout was Tom Bragg. Ball right on the 50-yard line, and only 18 seconds until intermission. Out of the I formation this time, Albert Brown in motion from the near side to the far side of the field, and Singer deep drop. Looks, and here comes the rush, and there goes Singer. Going to be sacked back at the 42-yard line. A loss of about 8 for Singer and Western Illinois. As Wisnowski and Bragg talk about it here on the near side, somebody evidently missed the block. And that's going to do it. That'll run out the clock. 14-0. Illinois State with a 2-score lead as they go in at intermission here. ISU 14, Western Illinois without a score, and we'll be back in a minute.
Here's the Chris.
And at the south end of Hanson Field on Parents' Day at Western Illinois, Larry Mortier alongside. I'm Larry Derry. And kicking off will be Dave Iman. We've seen him share the long kickoff duties with Lane Bennett, the freshman out of Pittsfield, but the last couple of games it's been Iman again, the sophomore from Fort Knox, Kentucky. So the purple and gold will have to try to come from 14 down against the defensive-minded Illinois State team. And Western had negative, rushing yardage in the first half, did they not?
Well, they ended up with 16 for 24. Not a very good statistic, of course, not a very good performance for a rushing offense that has been pretty salty this entire season, but not today against the Redbirds of Illinois State.
Iman with the toe in the ball, and from the 10-yard line for Illinois State, it's Mike Maines that's going to bring it out to about the 30-yard line, and he got run over by a freight train there as downfield in a hurry for Western appeared to be Himley, 23, and a running mate, 24, Claude Millsap. A defensive back and a running back got together on the specialty team to make the stop on Maines at the 30. 1st and 10, Illinois State.
Now, every series is a key in a big ball game, but this one probably more so than any. Illinois State into the locker room with a lot of momentum with that late score. The the Leatherneck defense has got to stop them here, give their offense good field position, in hopes to get back into this one here in the third quarter.
Out of the eye, Waters is going to get the ball. The first carry of the second half, the 18th carry of the game, and the Western defense trying to get themselves up now for the second half. Underneath the pile up is Shannon Berry. He's 6'2", 260, the senior from Wichita. Kenny Greer at 6'4", 260 out of Chicago. Two big defensive linemen. Todd Auer, 6'1", 235, a very powerful 235 in the middle. And they yielded only about a yard to Waters on the first play of the second half. Pat Williams, a freshman quarterback out of Monroe Falls, Ohio, wants to throw. Short drop, looks, down he goes. And the Western defense is fired up, and the ball got knocked loose, but I believe it had already been whistled dead. Western thinks they have it. The officiating crew, I don't think, will agree with them. Shannon Berry was pointing the other way, but that's not going to be the case.
Well, there was never any signal, so obviously the referee right on top of it felt that Pat Williams was down. Still a loss. There's an injured Redbird down on the field. I couldn't tell from here who got the sack, but it wouldn't surprise me if Auer wasn't in on it along with Greer.
Shannon Berry was right in the middle of it, too, I know. As we're searching to see, it is number 90 in the game as well. Rick Brenner's in that defensive front. Western with good size, good strength, and trying to handle an offensive line that has Stan Hackman at center at 240. A couple of juniors at the guards. Calhoun at 260. Hankins at 253. Morphy, one tackle at 250. Schumer at 280 as a redshirt freshman. Quarterback is Pat Williams. The running back, Waters. He's got a new running mate in there with a spanking clean jersey on right now. We'll check that number out in a moment. It's Mike Moore, I guess. He's the eye back. They'll go to the up back, though, out of the eye. And it'll be Waters straight ahead and running right head into Dion Melvin, a hard-hitting 5'11", 205 down linebacker out of Chicago, near the Chicago area anyway, Aurora. And Waters got virtually nothing. It's going to be 4th and 10.
Now, big defensive series that time for the Leathernecks as they stopped Illinois State cold here on their first possession of the second half, forcing McCabe to punt the ball to the Leathernecks, which should result in some pretty good field position.
He's back at about the 15-yard line with the line of scrimmage, the 30. The kick hangs up for quite a while for Marcus Ballard from the 34. Looks up the middle of the field, cuts a little to the left, and going to get about 10 yards. He's back to the 45. And here comes the offense with a roar onto the field.
Now, good return that time for Marcus Ballard. As you said, the kick by McCabe really carried pretty well. But he picked his way, waited for his blockers, and picked up 10 yards, at least 10 yards on the return, setting up the Leathernecks at their own 45-yard line.
Offense led out by number 51. The program probably has Lomolino, but it is Westemeyer at the left guard spot. They changed numbers for some reason at home. Winters is over the football. He wears 50 out of Union City, New Jersey. Paul Singer at quarterback. The first guy through will get the call. It's going to be a no gain. The Illinois State defensive line, as sharp as they were in the first 30 minutes of the game. Going nowhere for Western Illinois was a new back end. Victor Perrin, I believe, getting the football for the first time today and picking up nothing. Western's leading ground gainer in the first half was Chris Charo, only 7 yards on 3 carries. While Singer was 6 of 15 for 103 yards, he was picked off once. Second down, still about 10 yards to go from the 45, Western Illinois. Singer back to throw. The footing isn't all that good. He throws. He's got the completion to Grimshaw for a gain of only a couple of yards. He slipped down then at the 46 or 47-yard line. Short gain on the completed pass, and it's going to bring up about a third and still 9 yards to go.
Now, Grimshaw out of the near back set that time. Split backs tried to slip out into the flat, and the ball was a little bit behind him from Singer. Of course, on these field conditions, that happens. In an attempt to catch the ball, his feet, he lost his feet and went right down. Gain of about, you said, just maybe 2, setting up this third and a long 8.
The backs are split this time as Perrin, I believe, in the lineup again. Maher is in motion from the near side. Here comes the blitz by Illinois State. A flag is out, too, and the pass by Singer. It's going to be a little off the mark for Nate Blanks again. Singer putting the ball in the dirt or the grass or whatever in front of his receivers here in this game. So it's incomplete. There was a marker out. We got a motion call against Western Illinois anyway.
Well, I'm sure we'll see the Redbirds of Illinois State decline this one. Paul Singer with good protection. As you said, Illinois State on the blitz from the secondary that time was well blocked. He had time to set up, but threw it just a little bit low and to the outside of Nate Blanks, who was open over the middle and would have had enough yardage for the first down.
So they will decline the penalty. It's going to bring up fourth and about eighth in. Western, and coming into the game will be Mike Krause. Line of scrimmage, the 46-yard line. Illinois State with two men deep, anticipating the punt by Krause, who does spiral it high again. On the far side, a fair catch going to be called for and made at about the 15 or 16-yard line. And now the offense of Illinois State, which hasn't done much all year, but today they put 14 first-half points on the board to lead Western Illinois by that margin. 14
time. It was a good punt. Had plenty of time, good protection on that. And of course, the fair catch.
So Pat Williams in the offensive unit on the field again. To the near side will come Tim Turner. Two great catches in the first half, one for a touchdown. First and 10 from the 16-yard line. And Williams is going to give to Waters, and Henry trying to get outside was going to go up front or through the middle, but here to the outside is going to be brought down by Dion Melvin.
A good job by both linebacker Dion Melvin and the right side of that Leatherneck defensive front. Todd Auer and Kenny Greer on this side giving Waters no room to run inside. It forced him to bounce the play to the outside. Dion Melvin, scraping from his linebacker position, was in position to make the play for no gain.
Auer and Renner are the tackles, and it is Shannon Berry and Kenny Greer the ends. Melvin, a linebacker with Hearn. Williams, a freshman quarterback, straight back to throw, sets the screen, and he's got his target on the far side. Auer chasing, so is McCray, and down goes the receiver, but he picks up about 4 yards, maybe 5. And that time it turned out to be Jason Johnson.
The screen play over the middle. They spot the ball at about the 21, it looks like now. A gain of officially 4, setting up a third down and 6.
Yes, third and 5.
Johnson on the receiving end. We haven't seen a lot of him today, but picks up about 4, as Mortier indicated. 7 of 13 throwing for Williams. And nearing the century mark, that's 92 yards. We're in the third quarter, 10-10 remaining. 14-0, Illinois State. Waters with the pitch, but a flag is going to stop that play before they go any farther. Bruce McCray and Waters were right there to bump into each other, and Mike Hearn was there too, but the whistle stopped the play, and we've seen that on several occasions today already.
Illinois State attempting to go on the quick count did not have everyone set. They have to, of course, the rules say you have to be set for a full count. Someone up front, maybe a couple guys up front moving before the snap. It's an automatic walk-off of 5 yards. Going to take it back just inside, just inside the 16, 17, just inside 17-yard line, setting up the third down about 10 now. Little more than 10 for the Redbirds, with 10:09 now remaining here in the third period.
Not a capacity house at Hanson Field, but a big Parents' Day gathering, and not a lot to cheer about yet. So it is third and about 10, as Larry indicated, from the 16-yard line. Hackman with the snap, and here comes Waters again, searching for a hole. Hearn's going to close it up on the left side defensively, and Waters will get about 3. Shannon Berry, I guess, is underneath, according to Tony Karras on the PA, and it is big number 75. He went low, and Hearn came in high. And it brings in the punter, Mike McCabe. 21 carries today for Waters. He had 11 in the first game against Eastern Illinois, a 3-point victory for Illinois State. And Dan Mortier, the brother of Larry, right down there to meet Waters when he came off. McCabe, a short kick. He'll hang it up at about the 40-yard line. It'll bounce out to the 45, and getting a pretty good ISU roll to the 50-yard line. Corcoran and one of the Redbirds will mix it up here at the 45, and the officials will separate those two. And Western a little frustrated today. They haven't scored. Their defense didn't shut down completely the Redbirds either in the first half, because they scored 14 points. And now the offense will get another shot at it, and Singer stays at quarterback. His throwing has not been sharp today.
Now again, good field position, as the Leathernecks are going to start right at midfield. 9:14 remaining here in the third period. Still plenty of time for the home team to get back into this one, trailing 14-0.
Needs something on the board. So Western will start from the 50. The throw to the near side to Brown. It'll bounce to him. In basketball, that's legal, but not here. And the defender grabs a hold of the jersey of Brown, and Albert a little displeased with that act, and let him know about it.
Well, that play's such a judgment call, as we've seen. We've talked about it earlier. That's a play that the Leathernecks have used quite a bit. Sometimes off the short drop, it actually is thrown behind Albert Brown, so it's behind the quarterback, and then it becomes a running play. That time, evidently, the same play, same design. The officials felt it was a forward pass, hit the turf, and so they ruled it incomplete.
Yeah, and if it is a lateral, it doesn't hurt if it does bounce.
No, not at all. It would have been, and I'm sure that's what Albert Brown was thinking as he picked it up and started to run and then was bounced around a little bit by the Redbird defender.
Second down, 10 Western from the 50. Singer back out of the shotgun for one of the few times today, and maybe the first. He maneuvers around a little bit, and he's going to throw the ball to blanks, and he stepped out of bounds. I thought he caught the ball out of bounds, to be quite frank with you, but that's not the case. The official says he caught the ball and then went out at the 41 or 42-yard line right in front of the ISU coaches.
Well, the side official right on it. They're going to spot it at about the 41. It's going to be just a yard, maybe a little over a yard short, setting up a fourth down and, of course, decision time for the Leathernecks. It appears, though, with Joe Maher coming into the ball game and no sight of Mike Krause, that the Leathernecks will be attempting to go for it here on fourth down. Now, I don't know. I guess it was not that he stepped out of bounds, but that he was out of bounds when he caught it, as you indicated initially. So it's going to go as an incomplete pass.
Well, the officials had a tough time making that decision. The guy right on the play said, we're going to put it at the 41 or 2-yard line, and now all of a sudden they move it back to the 50.
Well, it sure looked like they spotted it at the 41-yard line. He had his foot right along the sidelines and then rolled it incomplete. And I'm wrong. It's just third down now. Just coming up to third down, I thought it was going to be fourth, and again, Singer out of the shotgun.
I thought so, too. Singer's going to throw. He looks for blank. He's got him open against the zone on the far side. He'll pick up about 18 in the first down. Blanks will pick up his third catch of the day. We had him with number 3 a moment ago, but he has 3 now on the 18-yarder.
Well, all that discussion means absolutely nothing now, as Paul Singer with a good throw that time. Nate Blanks in the seam behind the corner and in front of the safety makes the catch and turns it upfield for about 5 or 6 more. First down, Leathernecks on the move now at the 32-yard line of Illinois State.
18 yards on the third down play as Western converts, and they're going to stay in the shotgun as Singer, with a couple of pretty good-sized backs in there to try to protect him, will probably want to throw again from the 32. Singer will not have to drop. He sets, fires, throws, and he's got the completion at the 20-yard line, and a hard hit by the defender as Maher made the catch.
Well, Maher took a heck of a shot from big Brian Jan in there as he got in right in between the linebackers and settled in there. Paul Singer with a good throw, a safe throw, and another first down for Western, now driving as they spot the ball at the 20-yard line.
Maher had one for 41 yards, a reception in the first half, and now another one for a dozen yards, and another first down Western at the 20-yard line. 8:35 remaining in the third quarter. Parents' Day at Western, Illinois. 20 yards away from their first score of the afternoon. Out of the shotgun again. Singer back about 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and here comes the blitz. And Singer's going to throw it quickly. It's going to be picked off at the 8-yard line. Back to the 20. The 25. Brown's going to catch him from behind. Gary Conley picked it off. And not a good throw by Singer there because Conley had the best shot at the ball all the way.
No, not at all. Paul Singer probably should not have even thrown the football, as Conley, as you said, was in much better position to make that catch than Albert Brown. Credit Albert Brown with a great effort to catch the defensive back from ISU before the damage could have gotten any worse, as he took it all the way back out to beyond the 35-yard line at the 36. First down ISU, and another scoring opportunity for Western goes by the boards.
Boy, my thoughts were thinking 88 yards on a return there, perhaps, by Conley, but Western had it well covered. Brown came up from behind to make the tackle. Waters, ball carrier here, and I believe making the defensive stop for Western, one of them anyway, getting up in a hurry, was Tom Scott. So Waters didn't get much. The line of scrimmage, the 35, 36-yard line, and that's where they put the ball back down, 2nd and 10. Waters with his 22nd carry of the afternoon, twice what he had seen the ball all year. I formation again for the leading Redbirds, 14-0 over Western Illinois. Williams wants to throw, and he's going to air one out deep. And it's going to be a fantastic catch again on the far side. A catch inside the 25 at about the 23-yard line, right in front of Marcus Ballard. And the grab made that time by what looked to be Bill Miller. First time in the game, I believe.
That's who it was, number 22, Bill Miller, wide receiver, working against Marcus Ballard, as he did a good job of coming back to the football. The ball just a little bit underthrown by Williams, but the advantage, of course, goes to the receiver as he's looking back to the football, and Ballard not able to adjust. He got back in front of him to make the catch at the 23-yard line.
About 41 yards overall on the pass run that time to Miller. They'll keep it on the ground, and making the stop for Western Illinois will probably be Auer. Western thinks they got the ball. No, just a good defensive charge as Kenny Greer gets up shaking the arm. But Illinois State took it half the length of the field almost, and now they're in pretty good position. At the 22, 23-yard line of Western Illinois, and the Redbirds leading it here 14-0, 6:50 remaining in the third quarter. And Western can't afford to fall behind by yet another score. Roberts, the tight end, splits out a little here on this play. And out of the shotgun comes Pat Williams. He's going to be run out of the pocket by Renner and others, and Williams will just outrun him and out throws it on the run, and it's going to be incomplete. The ball trapped inside the 10-yard line. Maurice Smith out of Inkster, Michigan is in the game defensively, and he was in the vicinity. But Williams scrambling for his life with Renner and others in pursuit. Finally released the ball, and it's incomplete.
Now, Pat Williams shows a lot of poise for a freshman athlete. That time scrambling out of the pocket again, as we've seen him do a number of times in this ball game. Did a nice job and almost came up with a completion as he was under a lot of pressure that time from the Leatherneck defense. 3rd down and 10, big 3rd down and 10 here for the Leathernecks at ISI as they see ISU at the 21-yard line.
And again, Williams about 6 yards behind the line on the short snap, and he drops back 3 steps, looks to throw, and somebody got a hold of him but didn't hang on, and he's going to run with the ball. And finally, McCrae will get him down inside the 20 at about the 18-yard line. The guy that missed him was Kenny Greer. Williams, an elusive son of a gun, isn't he?
He sure is. Again, he's up the middle that time. He saw that his receivers were covered. He snuck in through the rush and got upfield and got down before he took a pretty good lick. It's going to be 4th and about 7, and we've seen Paul Politi now into the ball game. They're going to spot it at about the 25, 26-yard line. It'll be a 36-yard attempt for a gentleman who has to be, if not the best kicker in the Gateway right now, certainly if not one of the best in the nation.
He's 5 of 6 in the field goal department. The snap, though, was not got. Oh, he got him through anyway, didn't he?
That was incredible as Politi that time, all he could do, the snap was not very good. And Williams trying to get the ball down, didn't get it straight up and down, but Politi with that kind of ability got it up high enough and on target that it hit the left upright and bounced in through. And that's going to be 3 points. It wasn't very pretty, but it counts. And Illinois State goes up now 17-0.
It never got off the ground over 10 feet all the way, I don't believe.
It couldn't have.
And he barely got it through. I didn't think he had enough height on it to even clear the crossbar, but Politi got 3, and Illinois State has to figure this is their day, maybe, in Macomb at Western Illinois, where they haven't won in some 10 years or so. 5:43 remaining in the third period. Illinois State comes up with 3. They lead at 17-0, and all set to kick off here, so we'll stay right here with you. Game brought to you by University Sporting Goods, everything for the sorority and fraternity. Santana Tanning Beds at University Sporting Goods, and Kathy's Florist Greenhouse, fresh to you. Delivery to all surrounding areas. Kathy's Florist and Greenhouse here in Macomb, one of our Western sponsors and one of our Macomb High sponsors as well. So now Western trails by 17 to a good defensive team. And will be receiving the kickoff. And Brown's had a 38-yard return today, and that's been about his average on the season now, the leader in the nation in that department. But Politi, with a bad snap, I'm not so sure the snap was bad. It's just that the holder never really got a firm grasp on it, and then finally shoved it to the turf, and Politi put a foot into it, and he line-drived it right toward the crossbar, and that's when I lost sight of it, and it bounced through. I didn't think it had a chance.
Williams was lucky to get it on the tee, and Politi just got it in the direction of the goalpost and got in.
Well, the catch on the run on the near side of a short kick by Politi is taken by Steve Williams, and Williams on the run to make the catch, fell down in the process, and Western will have it at the 27-yard line. 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line, and Singer stays on at quarterback.
Now, the big play in that scoring drive that resulted in the field goal by Politi was, of course, the 42-yard bomb to Bill Miller. That's the second big play on a Williams pass attempt, as in the first half he connected on a on a 40-plus yarder to his wide receiver, Tim Turner, that set up the first ISU score.
And now Western running exclusively out of the shotgun formation, telling the opponent they're going to throw all the time because evidently they've abandoned the thoughts of trying to run against Illinois State.
No, I don't know if it's so much that as they've conceded to the turf right now that's getting progressively worse. At least Singer back in the shotgun, you eliminate the problems that you could have in dropping back 8 yards. You get good field vision, and of course, as we see every Sunday with the pros, people have developed some decent running plays out of the shotgun formation. It wouldn't surprise me to see them, when they do get in the shotgun, to mix up a little run and pass.
Second down 10 after an incomplete pass intended for Nate Blanks. Maher in motion. Singer and Western 2nd and 10 from their own 27. Singer rolls and throws, and it's going to be picked off. Intercepted again, the third time today that Singer has been intercepted. He had 3 interceptions coming into the game, and he threw that one running to the left and tried to throw it downfield. I've got to wonder, as you indicated earlier in the game, why he's trying to throw deep and running the wrong direction. It's picked off by Jeff Smith. Third interception of the day off Singer.
Well, I don't think that one was all Paul Singer that time, as it looked like Blank slipped down at the last minute. There was coverage there by Illinois State. And again, the ball on target, but maybe a little bit high. Even had Blanks had a chance to come up with it. And another big play, another interception for ISU, and they're back in business inside Western territory at the 44.
44-yard line, a first down play. Waters trying to get outside. McCray's not going to allow it, and Waters is going to be taken out of bounds for a big loss. It'll be a loss of 6, and McCray rode him all the way into the bench. No flag out. McCray didn't see the sideline, the officiating crew said, and he simply rode the ball carrier out of bounds about 4 or 5 yards extra. And it's going to be a loss of about 6 for Waters.
Yeah, good play that time by the Leatherneck defense. Again, good pursuit out of that secondary, as we've seen all year so far. We've got some good open field tacklers, and that was an excellent play on the very fine running back from ISU, Henry Waters.
I missed the top of the hour. You're listening to K100 Radio here in Macomb. Western in trouble. Second down, about 16 yards to go, Illinois State, but they lead at 17-0. Williams back deep. Renner goes after him, but slips down, and now the throw is going to be complete to the far side, and what a job the receiver did in getting by Bruce McCray. Simply hurdled over him. You don't see that a lot in football, but that time Jason Johnson went right over the top and picked up another 2 or 3 yards.
Well, I think you don't see it because it's kind of a dangerous move. You get up onto the air, and that's when people get hurt. But that was a good move in that case, is trying to throw the screen. The timing got off a little bit, and Williams got a little too deep, a lot deeper than he wanted to. And they were lucky to get back, get what they could out of it. Ends up on about a 4 or 5 yard gain, setting up this 3rd down and 9.
3rd and 9 at the Western 43-yard line. 17-0 Illinois State with 5:10 remaining in the 3rd period. Williams back in the shotgun, looking to throw again. And the pass is going to be complete. He'll get it off to Garrett, and Garrett to the 35-yard line and short of a first down, but he's only a yard away.
Now, Garrett had the first down, it appeared, and then trying to get a little bit more and try to get to the outside. Tom Scott made a good play to prevent him from getting the first down yardage. It's going to be 4th down and about 2. Illinois State does not have the punt team on, as they're going to be going for it here. Leading 17-0 already and trying to extend that lead as they spot the ball at the 35 of Western with now 4:30 remaining here in the 3rd period.
4th and 2. Western trails by 17. 17-0 Illinois State. 14-0 at halftime. A field goal by Politi here in the 3rd quarter. Waters is going to fumble the ball here on 4th and 2. And Western will get them stopped at the 35-yard line. But the way the offense is playing, they've been unable to move. The ball was loose, and I think maybe picked up by Western Illinois. Dion Melvin. But at any rate, Western would have the ball anyway. Waters lost the ball, lost his footing, and Illinois State turns it over to Western, and the crowd trying to cheer the Leatherneck offense on, and now Panastock will get a shot at it. The Canton Jr. is on the field. He engineered the win a week ago at Northern Illinois when Western shut out the Huskies 10-0. So Panastock out of the shotgun. Singer's throwing has been off after a week off because of the injury. Maher in motion. Bannistock inside handoff as they try to foul up the defense here, and the handoff will go to Victor Perrin, and Perrin will pick up 4 or 5 yards.
They've just announced the attendance, Larry, at 12,136. An excellent crowd in the second phase of Project 12,000. And on behalf of the athletic department, I'm sure they'd like for us to pass on, and the university to pass on our thanks to those that are here today supporting the university and the Western Illinois University football Leathernecks.
Well, a gain of 5 for Perrin. It'll be second down 5. Bannistock this time right in behind Winters is going to give it to Grimshaw. Grimshaw running to the left, cuts upfield, gets only about, he may not even get back to the line of scrimmage. The ISU defense has been rugged all year. They lost 3 in a row after winning 1, but their offense has generated virtually nothing in 3 games. Thus, the defense has had to play a lot of it, but they're only giving up 235 yards per game and 107 rushing per game. And they've throttled the Western ground attack, and they've taken care of the throwing game as well here today. 3 minutes remaining in the third stanza, 17-0 Illinois State. 3 scores would win it, but they're going to be tough to come by this afternoon. Bannistock in behind Winters again, the conventional offense. 3rd and 5 from the 41-yard line. Long count by Bannistock. Here comes the nose guard. Bannistock's going to go deep for blanks. He looks, and I thought he got bumped a little. No, the official said. The defender was right there, Alden Pierce, the junior corner, and evidently made no contact with blanks, who had breezed on by him but couldn't catch up with the ball.
A good job by Bannistock that time with a lot of pressure from the inside linebacker, Gant, but got it off and just about connected with Blanks. As you said, Blanks looked like he had a step on the ISU defender, but the ball just overthrown.
Everything going the direction of Illinois State this afternoon. You'll have days like that. They've suffered through 3 weeks, which they didn't. Western had 3 good weeks. Everything was going their way, but this afternoon they haven't been able to create much. Krause is in on 4th and 5. And he'll boot it high again. What a job he does with that hang time. And it's going to be a fair catch at the 20-yard line. Out came a marker, too. And it may be a personal foul here on the near side against Alden Pierce of Illinois State. We'll wait and see.
Well, unofficially 37 yards in that punt from Krause. No preliminary signal yet from the referee.
We're going to get it now, I believe. It's a clip against ISU, and that'll cost them 15 yards. The fair catch was made at about the 21. Western needs a break of some sort. Maybe the walk-off here will pin Illinois State back a little closer to the goal line.
Illinois State doing a good job under these conditions and not turning the football over. I'm surprised in terms of both teams. We haven't seen a fumble yet today. The Leathernecks quarterbacks have thrown 2 interceptions. One stopping a drive, a pretty good drive going here in the third period by Singer. And a second by Singer in this period that the defense was able to rise to the occasion and stop the Redbirds. But this is turnover territory. Illinois State's backed up now to the 10-yard line, and if the Leathernecks want to get back in this one, they're going to have to try to force something here.
1st and 10 then from the 10-yard line. Waters the I back in the I formation. And Williams is going to give him the ball. And they create something for Waters, and he takes it out beyond the 15, call it the 16-yard line. Bruce McCray everywhere this afternoon. He and Hearn were there, and Dion Melvin. And Waters making the most of that as they blocked their way out to about the 16. Illinois was trailing Ohio State by a margin of 14-0 at halftime, the last we heard. 6 yards for Waters, it appears, on his 24th carry of the day. 47 yards, hard-earned yards against the Western defense. Scott, the cornerback on the near side. McCray is over here with him. And they'll take it right up the middle, and I'm not sure who they've got in there, but Waters was not the ball carrier. Marty Casper, how can you see those numbers from here? Underneath was Shannon Berry defensively. Now Western will make those 3 or 4 changes defensively, as Illinois State will have a 3rd and 1 situation at the 20-yard line. 3rd and less than a yard, and the going has to be a little slippery right there.
Now Leatherneck's going with their short yardage defense right now. Replace 2 defensive backs with 2 down linemen.
Pat Williams in behind his center, going to keep the football himself, and down he goes, and he may not have it. I think he's going to be stopped at about the 20-yard line, and so it'll bring up 4th and about 1, actually less than a yard, but we'll have to wait and see. Lorenzo Taylor looks the situation over. So does Bruce McCray. The ball is shy of the 20, and here comes the punting unit for Illinois State. 55 seconds remaining in the third period. Only 3 points on the board. They belong to Paul Politi and Illinois State, but they'd give him a 17-0 lead, and that's where we stand. So McCabe is in and back deep inside his own 10-yard line. Ballard waiting at the other 45. Snap is perfect, and McCabe will get it out of there, and he doesn't do a very good job, although he's been getting a pretty good bounce, and it'll cross the 50 to the 45 of Western, rolls out of bounds to the 43. It'll be Western's ball, 1st and 10 from their own 43-yard line. Time running out on Western. 24 seconds left in the third period, and the Leathernecks haven't scored here on Parents' Day as the skies, it seems, begin to lighten up behind us. I think so. And Illinois State was to break out of it, according to their authorities, and they have. They lead Western 17-0. The throw, pinpoint down the mark by Panistock, but reaching back a little bit for it, Blanks couldn't gather it in, but Panistock threw it into a zone right between 3 defenders.
That was a good throw by Rick Panistock. Good read by Blanks, as again he got in the seam behind the corner and in front of the safety. Looked like the ball was on target, but it was a little bit behind him, as you said, and Blank's unable to come up with it.
I'm going to watch this time. Are they double-teaming Brown, I wonder, or single coverage, or what they're doing to him? Because we're not looking to Brown. We looked to Blanks almost all afternoon. So Brown is on the near side. Looks like single coverage. Here he is, one-on-one, although the free safety roaming around back there. The throw is short to Grimshaw on the screen, and Grimshaw picks up about 6. Out to the 43 or 44-yard line. It'll be 5, maybe 6 for Grimshaw. The players begin to mix it up a little bit at the 50-yard line. A little shoving and pushing. The officiating crew gets into the middle of it. And that they do it. At the end of 3, 17-0. Illinois State puts it to Western Illinois. We'll be back for the 4th quarter.
It's a first down.
To Mike Morrison. Morrison was on our pregame show, brought to you today by Bush and the Ritz. And the Ritz tonight, beginning at 8, the doors open for the Elvis Brothers. Music of the 50s, I understand. 1st and 10, Panistock back to throw, and he does, and it's going to be short. Intended on the near side for Maher, I believe, who made a dive for the ball, but didn't come up with it. Made a great diving catch early in the game. 2nd down 10, the ball at the 44-yard line of Illinois State. Western has never really threatened this afternoon. 14 and a half remaining, 17-0. Illinois State with the lead and the clock on their side. So Panistock 2 of 5 today. Since coming on for Singer here in the latter stages of the third quarter. We're early in the 4th period now from Hanson Field on Parents' Day. Maher in motion, now going to set himself. And the snap back to Panistock out of the shotgun. Going to throw the deep one for Blanks, and it's going to be incomplete. Blanks, and who am I to... Today has been nil. 7 yards for the leading ball carrier, and that would be Chara, who hasn't played in the second half. And Panistock slips right at midfield where the going is the worst, and down he goes. At the 49-yard line, it's going to bring up a 4th and 15 for Western. Make it 4th and 13 where they say the knee touchdown. And the punter, Krause, comes on. 17-0 Illinois State. 14 14-0, I believe they have said. Ohio State leads Illinois, and now they're in the fourth quarter. So Krause back deep in punt formation for, gosh, I wonder how many times today. I don't have a count. It's been a few. And he really skies another one. Not very deep, and it's going to be a fair catch at the 20, 21-yard line. Little shaky, but the guy got under it, and on the receiving end, that time again, was Bill Miller. So now the Redbirds of Illinois State, controlling their own destiny, leading by 17, will put their offense out there again, and their offense has looked pretty sharp today, coming off 3 straight losses. 13-38 remaining to be played here.
Well, obviously the return of Henry Waters has given the Redbird offense quite a spark. In the first half, he had 43 yards on 17 attempts, and I'm sure he's improved that statistic here in the second half, although he has not been as sharp as that freshman quarterback, Pat Williams, has had a great day.
Well, they shift into the eye here and give it to Waters, the tailback, and Waters will be brought down by Dion Melvin again. Melvin in on many plays this afternoon, and Waters got back to the 20, 21. We'll see if they put it down at about the 22-yard line. The officials are going to stop the clock for a moment, and evidently a Redbird player down in that huddle from the 21-yard line. The clock begins to run again in favor of Illinois State. Fourth quarter, 17-0, Redbirds with the lead. And back to throw goes Pat Williams. He's got the time. He wings it out, and he throws it away. Intended on the near side for what looked to be, it was Jason Johnson again. It's incomplete. Williams, 10 of 18 today, came in, hitting 8 of 16 for 53 yards. So he's had quite a day. 147 yards approximately. So he's thrown for nearly 150. And this what might be his first start of the season. I'm not sure if he started last week against Oklahoma State or not.
I believe it was Craig Peeler last week against Oklahoma State, and Pat Williams, as we said a little earlier, I think his first appearance came in the fourth quarter. But he certainly has looked like a starter today. The freshman from Monroe Falls having a fine afternoon.
So Casper here, Marty Casper from the 21 out to the 25. That's going to bring up 4th and 5 for Illinois State. 4th and 5, and Mike McCabe is in to punt the ball again for ISU. Western has not got into the goal line or into the end zone yet this afternoon. 17-0 Illinois State. On Parents' Day, well, we did it to Northern last week, and Brown and others are going to try to block one. They didn't get it done. McCabe goes down, a pretty good acting job. The punt will fall dead at about the 35-yard line. Western will have it 1st and 10 from the 35. From their own 35, and with time running out. Well, a lot of time remaining in the fourth quarter, 12:24, but not any more than enough time to put 3 scores on the board to get back into it.
No, it's going to be extremely difficult as field conditions continue to deteriorate. The mud showing up more and more all over the field now. Neither offense really able to do much at all in the second half, with the exception of the 42-yard strike from Williams to Bill Miller that set up that unusual field goal by Politi. The line drive field goal, the only score of the second half. Neither team has been able to move the ball much at all.
Tom Bragg in motion. Panistock with the ball. Going to throw one deep, and Brown is out there, and they overthrow him. Panistock overthrew him as Brown had a couple of steps on the defender, Gary Conley. Well, we've seen that happen on 2 or 3 occasions this afternoon. And it goes for a long, incomplete forward pass.
Panistock threw that one about 45 yards, and from this angle, I'm sure it looked a lot closer than it actually was.
165 on the near side. Panistock out of the shotgun, needs 10. It's a second down play. He sets, he looks, he fires, and there's Earl at the 45 and dives out to the 46. Out came a flag, a late hit. It's a first down, and they'll tack on 15 more. Gary Conley, a little over-ambitious.
I'm sure that's going to be the call. That's the only thing it could be. The official right on top of it. The Illinois State coach is not very happy about it, but that's a good call. You've got to protect the athletes in that situation. Chris Earl was obviously down along the sidelines here, and it was a little late hit by Gary Conley. The 15-yard walk-off's going to take it inside the 40. Now at the ISU 39. First down, Leatherneck's at that point with 12:09 remaining here in the fourth period, and the Leatherneck's trailing 17-0.
Need a couple of quick ones to make this one end up in a very exciting fashion. 39 yards away, Western Illinois now with Panastock at quarterback in the latter stages of the third period and now into the fourth. First down play, Bragg in motion. Big number 83. Panastock throws. He looks on the far side for Bragg and do it clear over onto the track and out of bounds. They'll bring it back and make it second down 10 Western from their 39-yard line. In the gateway, Northern Iowa, number 1. Second down 10 now, just inside the 40-yard line, and Panastock to throw again, and he tries to get rid of it, and he can't. Down he goes, back at the 47.
So again, Illinois State coming with pressure. They've been very effective with it. Not much of a chance. Panastock had to release the ball in a hurry, and the receiver wasn't open, and he was forced to take the sack.
Of Illinois State leading it 17-0. Panastock on the move, rolls to the right, looks, and throws, and he's got a target down there, but he threw it out of bounds too far in front of him. At the 30-yard line of Illinois State, sliding out of bounds and going after the ball was Nate Blanks again. Brown had gone deeper. Blanks had curled in behind him.
63211. McDonough Telephone Cooperative. Online for you every day of the week.
Well, on 4th and long, 4th and 18, Bruce Craddock and his staff decides to bring in Mike Krause, and Krause is going to try to nail one deep. And it'll be Johnson that'll make the fair catch at about the 18-yard line. Krause probably not pleased with that one. Will pick up the towel that he wipes off the kicking shoe with. It's inside the 20, but he would like to have a little more than that. At the 18.5-yard line, 1st and 10, Illinois State. They'd have everything their way here in Macomb this afternoon. They may want to go back to natural turf at Hancock Stadium after beating Western here for the first time in 10 years.
Well, it couldn't have been a very pleasant week of practices. Both teams practiced nearly every day this week in the rain and mud.
Does ISU work out on the turf, though?
Well, they work out on the turf when they play on turf, but in situations like this, when they're like most teams would, when they're playing someone on...
Nate with the football out at the 20-yard line. Pat Williams, a good-looking freshman quarterback. Going to give it off as a flag comes out. You have to figure an offensive lineman holding. We'll wait and see. Out of the 10-yard line. Second down, about 20 yards to go. Pat Williams looks back at the running back behind him. He wants to set him in the eye now, and with 10 minutes remaining, he's taking quite a bit of time before the snap, and finally he does. Bark the signals and hands it off to the fullback out of the eye, and back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it.
Now, I'm sure he checked out in that situation, automatic at the line of scrimmage. The Leatherneck showing full blitz, and they went to the straight dive by the...
Remaining in the game now, third and about 17. From their own 11-yard line, Illinois State leading at 17-0. The new running back in the game is going to run head-on into Dion Melvin. And down he goes. The ball was knocked loose. The Redbirds are on it. Their punting unit comes out, though. The play was blown dead. As Johnson, I believe, the new running back, ran right into Shannon Berry and others. So punting situation for Illinois State. McCabe is on the field. Back deep for Western. Marcus Ballard again at about midfield. 8:40 remaining. Western hasn't scored. Illinois State has put 17 on the board. A couple of touchdowns in the first half. A field goal, you wouldn't believe, here in the second half by Politi. Oh, a beautiful punt. McCabe spiraled it out of there. Ballard drops it, picks it up at the 40, runs with it for a couple of yards, and down he goes. And out came a flag, and they may have a piling on call here and a personal foul worth 15 for Western. Otowski and his staff down below will not be pleased with that. The stiff Illinois State defense here today. So the deep snap. Panastock looks, throws, picked off. First interception of the day, intended for Blanks and taken away by number 1 again. Jeff Smith has, his second or maybe his third interception.
Well, I don't understand that one in terms of why. Well, Panastock threw the ball up over the middle. Tom Bragg was there, and Blanks was also there, and there had to be some mix-up on the route because they were too close to each other. Neither one of them obviously could come up with it, and Smith with another interception.
Third interception off Panastock. He had 2 in the Kansas State game. He didn't have any last week when he went all the way against Northern Illinois. And his first one of the afternoon here, he has played the second half. So Illinois State has their offense right back out there in time of possession, a number of offensive plays highly in favor of Illinois State here today. Tom LaMonica.
For 10 years, this has been a great series. 32 wins for both teams and 3 ties, but Illinois State appears in pretty good position.
Not putting any points on the scoreboard. Showing a 6-man front right here. On third and about 3. Illinois State will try the dive again. It goes for virtually nothing at the 35-yard line.
Defensive personnel.
4th and 2, and here's McCabe again. 17-0 Illinois State. We're down to 6:15 remaining. And McCabe is going to boom another one out of there. His punting vastly improved in the first half. And Marcus Ballard with the catch right up the middle of the field from the 20 out to the 27, maybe the 20.
For the Blue Devils of Quincy.
Holloman, I think, came up with maybe an overtime victory, so they're playing well. Here's a long throw, and the defender slips and goes down, but Blanks will never get under it either. Vannestock aired it out. He threw it about a mile. It's incomplete. Vannestock picked off a moment ago. Around 27, 28-yard line, and now just to finish this one off, because ISU has put him away. Here comes a screen to Michael Cox to the 40, the freshman to the 45, to the 50, cuts back to the 45, 40, and out of bounds at the 39. Biggest play of the afternoon for Western Illinois, the screen to Michael Cox. 5:45 remaining in the game. A little motion, a couple of players on the offensive line jumping, and that'll cost them.
Deteriorating throughout the game as it does. Games like this.
Throw out into the flat on the far side to Brown. Out comes a flag. You have to think a hold or a clip as Brown picked up about 12 or 13. So a first down Western, first and about 13. Vannestock back to throw, looks downfield, looks to the near side now and throws, and it's going to be incomplete. Intended for Michael Cox out of the backfield.
Not out of the league championship yet, but this would have been a sweet victory. Would have been 4 in a row and really would have put Leathernecks in the driver's seat in terms of moving toward that conference championship with Eastern Illinois coming in here having to play at Hanson.
12,100. And Western unable to move, and now going to put it in the air again. Vannestock throws, intended for Maher, but it's out of bounds. Fans have headed for the parking lots as Vannestock throws, and it's going to be intended for Brown and incomplete on the near side. It would have been near.
Michigan State with Urema and that fine tailback really have a chance to do some damage in the Big Ten this year.
State, Casper is one of the running backs who carried for 2 a moment ago. So on a 2nd and 8 situation, they go up the middle again and going nowhere. Their own 45, and I think Williams sets the offense again and keeps an eye on the clock ticking away. 3:40 it shows now, and he'll give it to Casper, straight ahead stop to about the 49-yard line. And a long snap count by McCabe, the punter. Illinois State looking for somebody to jump off sides, I suppose, and
they're just going to let it run down and take the penalty. I think the official forgot all about it. It had to be been 30 seconds.
Illinois State going to go to 2 and 3 overall, and 2 and 1 in the Gateway, while Western will be 1 and 1 in conference play. Now they've got nothing to gain by taking a lot of time, but still, they're in no hurry, and Western coming in after McCabe, and he gets off his best punt of the day. It'll bounce inside the 5 and go into the end zone. It'll bring it out to the 20, but McCabe just getting stronger and stronger now as the afternoon wears on. Of course, if you look at the plan.
Squelched that drive, and then the one Illinois State drive for the Fleety field goal, and that's been it. That's been all the offense in the second half.
So Vannestock throws, and a nice catch by Michael Cox all the way out to the 47-yard line and down, and not getting up very quickly, and a blocking roll that time, I guess, for WIU. 12 o'clock game, 1 o'clock Michigan time, I guess, 12 o'clock Central time. The throw here to Brown. He's got the catch at the 40 of ISU, the 35, the 30-yard line goes Albert Brown. So a first down Western. Vannestock wants to throw again and does over the middle, and wide open, but dropping the ball is Steve Williams. Well, ISU will win in 85 and 86. Vannestock throws, rifles one in on the far side. The catch made tonight.
Mankato, but he's back at full strength.
1:57 remaining. Vannestock to throw, and he's looking for Williams, and he's going to make a great diving catch at about the 1-foot line. Williams at about the 1-foot line as they go 19.
Go.
This This is number 68. We're going to go to Steve Williams again and the point of the third period on. A minute and a half remaining. Keep in mind our Family Eyewear postgame show immediately following the game. The throw for blanks can't get there as Illinois State has outplayed Western Illinois both offensively and defensively. And Fanistock is going to flag out. Fanistock back to throw again. A minute 21 remaining. It's fourth and a long 20. Fanistock looks to throw. He throws toward the end zone. That is blank with the catch and out of bounds at about the 6, and that'll be first and goal Western. Western Illinois with a minute 14 left. And number 14 wants to throw. Fanistock looks, rifles one into the end zone. Touchdown Western Illinois, I believe. The catch is made in the crowd. Now who's got it? Late for Western. They are on the scoreboard, though. The snap high, put down, though, by Fanistock. Drilled up through by Iman.
I really feel bad for them. I certainly wish we would have had a better showing. I think our players were cautious today, and you can't play cautious. We made some real big mistakes, and they haunted us. And, we've got to suck it up and take this defeat, hopefully learn from it, and hopefully rebound from it.
We never really got the ground game going at all against a pretty good defense, did we?
No, we didn't. I'll tell you, I was very disappointed with that. I didn't realize we'd miss Mike Morrison that much, and I'm not saying that his backup didn't do a good job, but we certainly did not play very well.
And Singer, after the week off, just didn't seem to be very sharp throwing the ball.
No, he had a real poor game, and that hurt us. And then Rick threw we were down there about the 15-yard line, and Paul's interception really hurt us. And then we're here about the 40, and then Fanistock threw an interception, and it really hurt us. And we have to give the credit to them; they won the game.
And it comes to an end, 17-7. The final gun sounds as Western Illinois on the losing end. So, a good defensive-minded team you played today, and it's back somewhat to the drawing board and get ready for Northern Michigan.
Yeah, Larry, I'm just very sad for our fans. I really apologize to them.
So, Bruce, we'll let you head down our way. We know you wanted to get down and talk to the football team. This one comes to an end. Illinois State controlled it, both offensively and defensively, I thought, in winning it 17-7. And we'll be back to wrap it up and then go into the post-game show in just a minute.
Experience the most luscious sunrise in the world. Hardee's new Canadian Sunrise Biscuit. Savor the taste of two kinds of bacon. Real Canadian bacon.